now tuned into the greatest.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sage Be Me podcast. I will be your host today.
Hi, everybody. I will be your guest for today. My name is Barbara. Yeah.
so today we'll be with Barbara, and we'll be talking about a topic that we often fail to see or notice this in our modern day society. We'll be talking about manipulation. Sijui Google manipulation.
Let us see what Mr. Google has to say about manipulation.
Before we get into the business of the day.
Google says manipulation is a skillful handling, controlling, or using of something or someone. But these words can also have some negative connotation. A manipulative person knows how to twist words, play on emotions, and otherwise manage a situation in a sneaky fashion to get what he or she wants.
So manipulation, it's basically using words to get what you want.
Yeah.
But in the sense that
it goes both ways. It has a good and a bad side, depending on how skillfully that person uses it.
So in manipulation, I came to figure out that you often tell someone something without knowing you're manipulating him or her, but you're actually going for what you want. So you might tell someone, hey, you're manipulating me to do this, and then they'll be like, you know me, I don't manipulate people, see, you know me. But in real sense, what they're doing, they're actually manipulating you by telling you,
for
you
sure.
You know me, right?
Most of the time, actually, most people don't know that they're manipulative. Other people will want to, for instance, in a situation where someone is trying to prove a point or have their opinion listened to, you end up manipulating the other person without knowing.
That's true.
But the others who manipulate you knowingly, if I should give an example, let's say I know I'm in a mistake and someone is trying to correct me or someone is trying to complain about it, but I won't exactly admit that I am in that mistake and I'll turn it against them. I will turn tables against them. That is me manipulating that person because I want them to fit into my thinking. I want them to fit into what I want them to fit into. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes.
That is one of the purest forms of manipulation. But people rarely understand it. People don't get it. And that's why we're here. Let's shed some light onto it.
So I'll start saying manipulation in the sense that I manipulated you to come today.
Positive manipulation.
Yeah, positive manipulation in the sense that I scrolled through your profile. I saw that, hey, there's a podcast. So she's a podcaster. She likes being in podcasts, likes telling stories, socializing on certain topics and not other topics.
Yeah.
So I was like, why don't I have her in the show? I manipulated her. How do you feel being manipulated?
Here we are now. It's actually not bad. That is positive manipulation, and I am glad I am here. I am glad I got manipulated to being here because I'm a firm believer of one person's voice can actually affect very, very many people, depending on how it is received. Someone might be affected negatively, others might be affected positively. It is wholly dependent on how you receive it.
That's
So yeah, I'm glad to have been manipulated into doing this.
Sounds funny because most of the time we take manipulation as something negative instead of something positive.
Yeah.
And I realized this since of late in the Sage, the artist page on Instagram, I've been posting positive thinking, I've been actually promoting things that will help an individual change the negative thinking to the positive thinking. So today in the group chat I bantered the guys. I told them, hey, this is you guys bantering each other every time in the group about something relating to football. So after bantering them, my boy Don was like, Sage siku hizi amekuwa motivational speaker hapo gram. I was like, yeah, I'm manipulating these guys, I'm manipulating them. I want actually, you manipulate someone to do something what's good for them. So that's the point of this whole podcast. I don't know, we've taken like 3 minutes to talk about
5 minutes.
Okay, so let me start by getting a bit in depth. So when you're manipulating someone, you're basically going for something that's insecure, something that, okay, it sounds a little bit dark, but it is what it is. You're going for a weak point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're going for a weak point for someone.
Yeah.
So in order for you to manipulate someone, it should be someone that you know, or you know something about that specific someone. This is how you can easily get to them doing what you love. That's why politicians really get to people, because they see, these guys don't have ABCD, I'll tell them, I'll give them this. Then they manipulate you to getting what they want, and you won't get what you want.
Yeah.
And actually, when you're being manipulated, you think that you'll get what you want, but in real sense it's the other way around.
It's the other way around, really. You're actually making so much sense. And let us just look at whatever is happening in the world right now. Okay, not in the world, what is happening in the American Capitol right now. Trump is manipulating his followers to cause chaos at the Capitol. That is manipulation. It's one of the examples of manipulation, because just allow me, if I could look at examples of manipulative behavior. Number one is passive or aggressive behavior. That is exactly what, forgive me, but that is exactly what the former president of the United States is trying to do. And then there's implicit threats, where it's like blackmail. You threaten someone in exchange for them doing something for you or giving something to you. There's dishonesty, which honestly, dishonesty is also an example of manipulative behavior, because if I have to come to lie to you to get something, I'm manipulating you, whether it's passively or, passive. What's the opposite of passively? Hiyo kizungu ilienda na train. Another one is withholding information.
That's a form of manipulation.
It is. When you withhold information from someone, you're manipulating them. If you're supposed to give somebody full reports on something and you decide to give them 50% because you want something in exchange, or because you want to achieve something that is not of mutual benefit, that is manipulation. And then another example is isolating someone from a loved one. That is cruel manipulation. Wow. There's also verbal abuse, which most of us go through every day, and sometimes you don't even realize you're being manipulated by verbal abuse, but it actually happens. And the very last one is use of sex to achieve goals.
Wow, okay, I hope So this weekend, my boy was telling me of how he resigned from the work that he was doing. So the CEO of the company, he hired this woman. I don't remember. Actually, I'm bad with names, and I'm doing my best to get better at it. So my boy says that this chick, he called him. Actually, she sent him the text, let's say at around 9 p.m. Tomorrow you're supposed to be at work, because we've changed our clients from cooperative bank to, they pulled out. So my boy, he got the message, and he was like, you can't tell me this message through WhatsApp. It's unprofessional. It's
very unprofessional. Write me an email.
Send me a text message. It will reach faster. WhatsApp, how sure are you I have data? So he was frustrated about this information at first. So the next morning he got up like nothing's happening. So at around I don't know, 10 amani kitu, tseme almost noon, he was called and then he was like, hey, see, I sent you the message through WhatsApp that COP pulled out, so you'll be working physically in the office and not online. So he was like, I didn't see, I'm not on WhatsApp, as in I don't have the data to get on WhatsApp. So he's like, you then kuja office because you're required to be in the office. So Dishon said, okay, sour, but I'll have to take time because I have my small sis here. I have to take care of her before I leave because COVID is there and the kids are at home and he's at home with the kid. So see, Dishon takes his time. He has breakfast. He watches an episode of something. Then he decides to start checking. That's before he checks. He's called, hey, nini. Oh, he said, nilikuwa nashughulikia mtoto, so right now I'm checking. So he gets to the office. The chick starts verbally abusing him. Oh, I sent you a message jana, alafu nimekucall, alafu nini. So you get how it can be.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, as in it's like he doesn't want to say anything because he knows he won't say something that's nice. Then it was like, enda kwa ofisi, Bazu hata ndo anakuita. So he goes to the office. Getting to the office, Bazu he's humbled himself. He's like, hey, pole, najua it was last minute, but they pulled out late. We didn't have time to communicate well to you guys. Then Dishon was like, hey, nabona nini ameniongelesha hivyo kwa jili it's not how it's supposed to be. It's not how people work.
Yeah.
So Dishon was like, apana. He got out of the office. Then the chick started insulting him. Then she insulted him in the family aspect.
Oh no. So
Dishon was like, apana. He went and told Bazu. Bazu did nothing about it. Ati, si anakuanga hivyo, nani anakuanga hivyo. So Dishon was like, oh, so amwezi mwambia. So you are the ones letting her to be like that, eh?
Yeah.
So he went to the machine, logged in, taped a resignation letter, sent to the CEO, not the manager. The chick is the manager. He sent it direct to the.
Yeah.
So the manager called the girl, and then after calling the girl, they had a conversation. Then she left the office and called Dishon. So when Dishon got to the office, they were like, mbona nini, you're resigning, nini. So Dishon explained, I've told you my problem. You decided to check it through the window. It's like it's nothing. Like it's not an issue that's affecting the company. Told them, it's either me or your manager.
Yeah.
So the guy chose the manager, the road manager. So later on, Dishon discovered that there was a form of manipulation from the chick's side. So the Bazu actually had sex with the manager. Oh. That's how she got to the position of manager.
Wow.
So the guy is actually afraid that if he tells her, hey, you're doing something wrong, that he'll get exposed. And sex manipulation, okay, most of the cases that I've had, it's usually the female manipulating. Yeah,
because people believe in the power of pussy. That's what they say. But really, that is, in all ways, it is just wrong. Again, when we look at manipulation, how do you know you're being manipulated? What are the signs you look out for to know that someone is manipulating you? For example, you said something about someone using your weaknesses.
Yeah, true.
They know what makes you weak, they use it. They know your family is everything to you, they use it against you. They know you need something, you urgently need something, they use it to get whatever they want. Another person will use your insecurities against you. For example,
let's say a chick who doesn't have ass, a big ass, guys will use that to manipulate you. As in, there's a way that, let's say example, I have a girlfriend, she has boobs but doesn't have ass. So I was like, today, so this chick, she had ass. So this chick will be like,
that is so wrong.
This guy.
Yeah.
As in, it'll be ringing in at the back of her head. Even though I say it as in like a pass by a statement, then I change the topic. It'll just be ringing at the back of your mind or something like that.
True. Like the way you pass uko River Road and they tell you, Madam, si ukuja tukupatie mafuta ya rangi. That is how you probably find someone is very insecure about how they look or how their body looks like, or one way or the other they're just insecure about something, and then this person uses that on you. And sometimes you'll find people who actually get interested and they go and buy that mafuta, quote unquote, or they buy that, you know, sometimes they tell you ni mafuta ya kubleach or ni mafuta ya kuongeza carbs, and because you're manipulated into, because that is your insecurity, you're manipulated into buying that mafuta. And other times again, you don't see it coming.
True.
Another thing to look out for someone who is manipulative is somebody who convinces you to drop whatever you're doing, how can I call them, your priorities. Somebody who, like I was telling you a story about a friend who just, is easily swayed around. So if you're having people in your life who you're supposed to be studying for an exam, or you're supposed to be meeting family members for a function, but they manage to convince you to do it, not to do it, or to do otherwise, that is a manipulative person. That is a manipulative person. And there are so many things to look out for, but us human beings are so blind to some facts, we don't look. For instance, if you're so closely tied with a group of friends that you know is wrong for you, but you still go ahead and do it, you are allowing manipulation to come to you. You are giving it energy, you're giving it power, and then at the end of it all, when you start realizing the results, you'll start blaming other people for it. But in essence, you allowed it.
It's not your fault.
Well, ouch, that was harsh, but you allowed it to happen. You gave it way, so it has every reason to actually affect you. You have every reason to be manipulated because you gave it way. We're actually forgetting to recognize that sometimes manipulation doesn't just come from the other person. It's you allowing it. Yeah, I was listening to something Kamenegoro was saying, and she said people will treat you how you allow them to treat you.
That's true.
If you set a standard, or if you put a bar somewhere and people actually respect where that bar is, no one will go below it, because they know this is where we're supposed to be at. This is my friend, she can't do this, I cannot manipulate her to do it. Yeah. Or even you yourself know who you are, and you know this is what I stand for. I cannot allow myself to be manipulated by other people.
That's true.
And then again, other times someone, the signs to look out for a manipulative person is someone is constantly defensive of their actions.
True. Very
this
defensive.
I will give an example in relationships. Let's say your boyfriend or your girlfriend calls you, or even your friend. Relationships are everywhere, really. They call you and they have something to complain about, but you're so defensive. For instance, it doesn't have to be a mistake. Let's say a friend is just looking out for me and telling me, yo, you have an exam tomorrow, you need to read. Then they follow up and ask, did you read for your exam? I'm like, no, I did not read. You see, it's because I had to go to work, I had to clean the dishes. My sister was... You're being a manipulative person. Stop being too defensive. These are some of the things you look out for in people, so that you avoid getting in that position.
So in that relationship, I can add that, let's say, when I was in a relationship, I want to meet my girlfriend, but she can't get out of the house. In real sense, she's not doing anything constructive. Nothing really that is not making her to come out to meet up with me. So I was like, actually I was focused on seeing you. So right now I can't see you because I'll be doing something else. So she's like, I can't chat with you because I said I can't meet you. Now we can't chat. This is a form of manipulation that you don't even realize. So in relationship, you can sense that, when someone is being childish, that's a form of manipulation.
Yeah.
Because once a child wants something, you
give it to them,
cry for it, and that's a form of... Children really do a lot of manipulation, and you don't realize it.
Because they're so cute and with beautiful eyes, so you just do what they want.
You find yourself deep in manipulated, and you're wondering, like, what really happened? Why is this kid so spoiled?
Alright, so let us look at what Dr. Google has to say about the signs that you are being manipulated, or you are with someone who's manipulative. The first one is they are passive aggressive. Oh my god. I have so many examples on all of these things. I will just summarize. So that person is passive aggressive. They avoid confrontation. However, the frustration that will come is by way of a mutual friend, or even directly. I have a friend who he had a girlfriend. Why is it always girlfriends? So my friend had a girlfriend, and I'm pretty sure if he hears this, he'll just be smiling where he is. And this girl led him on for so long and made him feel like there was actually going to be something between them. And then at the end of it all, she just says, no, I'm seeing someone. And this friend of mine was so affected by it.
I know.
Because he was so deep into it, he had given his all, and then
as in he had fallen in love.
Yeah. So when he actually comes out at a place where he wants to talk about it with this chick turns it against him. It's you. It's always been you. You're raising your hopes for nothing. It's you who's loving.
Exactly.
Why are you dating yourself with my name? Yeah.
For everything.
And little does this girl realize that the person she's pointing fingers at is the person that is actually really, really, really hurt. And this put my friend at a position where it wasn't just a very pleasant experience, and it affected him for quite a while. But if you're in a position like that, find healing. Manipulative people don't deserve your attention. The other thing that Google says you should look out for is somebody that never listens. The conversation is rarely about you, and when it is, you're feeling like they're not listening. They're always the ones talking and saying things about themselves. It gets uncomfortable, really, because a conversation is two-way.
There's not that open window where your thoughts or your voice can be heard. It's like when you say something, your opinion doesn't matter.
It doesn't, and that is very, 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 very wrong. And then another thing is this person is on a power trip. What is a power trip? This person always wants to feel like they're the ones who are superior.
In control of
that is very common in high schools and primary schools, because there's always this girl that is, let's say, from a rich neighborhood, or she's just cool, or she wears a shorter skirt, or she has longer hair, or she puts her on lip gloss when the rest of you don't. And then there's this group of people who just follow them. The designated, what is it called? Okay, that name disappeared. But there's always this group of girls or other people just following this one superior person or this popular kid in school.
Mean girls.
Yeah, and that is so manipulative. It leads to so many bad things, because you find people in high school getting depressed, other people committing suicide because this one didn't think I'm cool enough to hang out with me. People get emotional burdens because of that. People's esteem goes down. You find yourself stooping so low to levels that you never thought you would. And honestly, if this is not addressed, so many people succumb to it without knowing. Later on in life, you find yourself going through some emotional
trauma.
And you don't understand where it comes from.
Actually, I'm a victim of that.
Sorry. What happened? Tell us.
Okay, for me, I usually got named called because once you do sports, I usually used to sweat a lot. So guys nicknamed me Makwapa. it was frustrating.
It's funny.
I know. You can imagine. So the nickname, it usually they took the nickname to a whole another level. They started treating me like I'm not a human being.
Oh no.
As in, someone can't hug you because aka you are
Makwapa.
As in, they can't hug you, they don't want to sit next to you. This was for the females. They can't sit next to you, they don't want to talk to you. It's like you're not getting any attention from them. But at least I got a few people who, as in, a few humans, let me say that, because they didn't give me the bare minimum. They actually treated me like a human being. We had nice conversations with them. We could talk about movies, cartoons, as in these things really made me feel alive when I was around them. So in as much as I was feeling depressed about ABCD, there was this other aspect that I was feeling like, yes, they do that, but why don't I take this positive?
Positivity. Sorry about that, man. But looking at it now, who's laughing now? COVID is putting us at a place where we can't hug each other, we can't talk to each other. So checkmate. Who laughed last? The one that laughs best.
The universe came through.
The universe came through. Karma, anti-karma helped. So the other thing to look out for is someone who always, oh my god, you know these people who call you out of the blues and they're like, I need a favor. I need a favor. They're constantly asking for favors.
I missed you. How are you doing?
Yeah, we should hang out. But I was asking, that is a manipulative person. That is a very manipulative person. And then the very, very last one, which I am noticing is very common with many people, is someone gaslighting you. Let me explain what gaslighting is. Gaslighting is when someone makes you question yourself. You question your emotional integrity. You question your capabilities. You even question your insanity, your sanity. Sorry. You start feeling like you're insane. You know the way people make jokes and they're like, "Oh my God, you're crazy." You do something, you're crazy. You do something, you're crazy. That is a manipulative person, and those are some of the things that you need to look out for
So that really
and stay away from.
Happened to me last year. Actually, it's normal for a human being to make a mistake. It's normal for your emotions to overwhelm you and you to do some action. So after I did something, I was like, as in, they were telling me, Macharia, Ngare. That I took that as name calling, as in they're calling me, as in usually you're not called like that, They call you like the nickname, So they call you and then they tell you, Apo umefurahia sana, you are happy that you did that. That's a form of manipulation. They're making you feel bad. At some extent, they are degrading your mental thinking. They are making you feel like hauko, and you should watch out for that, Bana. It's something that really, really puts you down.
But there was a conversation we were having in the matatu, and we might really, really preach about manipulation and tell people what to look out for. But unless you actually open your eyes to look at some of these things, unless you are receptive to other opinions from outside, you actually can't realize that you're being manipulated. Or you cannot change it. Because, as I normally say, your happiness or whatever goes on around you is your personal responsibility.
That's true.
Whatever other people want to think or do or say is their responsibility. But as where you stand, you are your own responsibility. So, how do you stop manipulation? You open your eyes, look at the people around you, choose or filter out people. Don't be afraid of losing people just because it feels lonely, they're gone. But isn't it better than being manipulated? I'd rather be alone than end up committing suicide because somebody said something that made me feel bad about myself.
That's true.
So there's, again, a common phrase I use and I tell people is communication is very important in whatever relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a sibling kind of relationship, whether it's a boyfriend or a girlfriend, whichever. Communication is very important. But what is importanter? What is importanter? Comprehension.
Boom.
I can preach to you all I want, but unless you understand what I'm saying, there's nothing I'm telling you. There's nothing.
There's no communication over there.
True.
No,
it's as good as nothing.
It's like I was telling you. Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Disagree to agree. It's one and the same thing, but you might take it like they are different things. If you can't comprehend that agree to disagree is the same as agree to disagree is the same as
what he said.
if you can't comprehend that they are the same, then I don't think that you can be able to know if you're being manipulated or not. If I think this all goes down to, if you don't know yourself, as in when somebody tells you this, when you're manipulated, you'll feel bad because I've not done A, B, C, D. I'm feeling bad because these guys want me to party and I'm with this person. So I want to leave this person. Do I feel bad for leaving this person to go do that? Why am I feeling this feeling? If you can't ask yourself these questions, if you don't know yourself to the extent that you can't really get yourself to the emotional aspect that I want to make a decision that I'm okay with it when I'm sober. If you can't get to that level, then obviously you'll get manipulated and it's all your fault.
Yeah, true. You're actually saying the truth, because on knowing yourself, if you don't know yourself, you can't expect other people to know you. If you don't understand who you are, don't expect other people to understand you. You'll constantly be ranting about, you don't understand me, but do you understand yourself? Because charity begins at home. It all begins with you. I am personally a victim of manipulation in so many ways, knowingly and unknowingly, in relationships, in friendships, in even family. I have been manipulated so many times. But now that we're here, how did I get out of that? How am I not being manipulated anymore? Acceptance. Number one. For me, it was acceptance. I got to a point where I had to do counseling because of so many things that are happening around me. None of them is being manipulated. Emotionally being abused. That is manipulation. Hey, to manipulate on. Wow. Emotionally being... Hey, It is not our language, please. I accepted. It got to a point where I actually had to accept that yes, I am being manipulated. I'm being made to do things I don't want to do. I'm being made to say things I don't want to say. If a friend is asking me for a favor and I don't want to do it, and they're forcing me to do it, they're manipulating me.
Actually, you're not doing this for me, and
you don't love me. You don't value our friendship.
No.
I do. I just don't want to do it. Yeah. So first thing with what helped me get out of manipulation is I accepted that I was being manipulated. And then I started looking for ways to work on it. First of all, I established standards and what do I call them? Like just having this conversation with your friends. They know she's not going to do this or she can do this. If you're calling me on a Friday night and you know I'm coming from work and you want to go party, I will say no. And I will not do it. So deep down they know she won't do it. She said no, she's not going to do it. No one is going to try to get out of their way to start manipulating you. Oh, just come because we are your friends. You need to spend time with her. If not even be spending time with her.
When was the last time you saw her?
When was the last time you saw them? They're not dying. You'll still see them. You will still see them. So I had to accept and I had to set boundaries and I had to set rules for myself and for others. And I had to follow them to the latter.
But before we continue, can I add something? We have to know one thing, You have to first see things as they are. That's the first step for you to know that if I see this as manipulation, it is manipulation. I have to see it as manipulation. Not that this person is trying to express. No. You see things for what they are. That's the first step. Then you accept it.
True. Oh, that's true actually. Well, those are some of the ways. If we're going back to what I was saying, those are some of the ways I dealt with manipulation. But the one that has worked for me till today, not even acceptable. Well, there's that. Okay, there's a good side and there's a bad side. So the one that I'd like to call the bad side or the wicked side is just having a bitch attitude. You know, I have a friend who has a resting bitch face, and it keeps her away from so many things, because before someone actually even tries to approach you and start giving you that nonsense, they get scared because of the face you're pulling, because of the attitude they actually see on you. It helps. Not that you are supposed to do that with everybody, but when you get the chance to do it has worked for me.
Don't be afraid to do that.
It has worked for me. At work, somebody tells me, oh, go get supplies. You know, you haven't been doing it for so long. Yeah, I haven't been doing it. So what? You go do it. It's not my job. You go do it. Or I don't feel like doing it today. You go do it. Don't manipulate me to do something that I don't want to do. That is wrong. Yeah. So I guess that is just me. That is what I'd
That's how you cope with it.
Yeah, that's how I've been coping, and it helps. Other people will notice it from a negative side. Others will look at it from a positive side. Again, it depends with the people around you. Yeah.
See, I feel like to exploit.
Yes, for 31 minutes, 33 minutes actually.
I thought we would get it.
We've actually, you know,
we've done
the thing.
We've done a lot.
So
for this episode, in as much as we've talked about how guys should see how they are being manipulated, there's someone who will use this as a form of manipulation, because I'm sure there are many people who didn't figure out this is a form of manipulation. So if you will use any tactic that we've said a form of manipulation, we are not liable to any of that.
The devil is your father. Do not.
We're not liable to any form of manipulation that you choose to apply.
We're not promoting anything.
Because when we started the podcast, I said that I manipulated Barbara. So
in a good way.
In a good way. So
you can manipulate a child to drink milk in a good way. You can put dolls on them and have them eat their food. That is manipulation in a good way.
So whatever you do, we're not liable, and we hope that you use whatever information that you get from here on to help others and help yourself.
True.
And that's all for today, folks. Make sure you follow me on my socials at sage_b_me on Twitter, Sage_B_muchachos on Instagram.
Oh, on Instagram I am _.imbenzi, that is EMBENZI _.
So you're from South Africa.
Ui, mimi ni Mluya. A very proud one, if you ask me. Very, very, very proud.
I have had experience. She's very proud of it.
Yeah, I guess my socials are just Instagram, really. I'm not on Facebook. I'm very inactive on Twitter. I just go there for the tea. Yeah, so that's just all from me. Wear your mask, sanitize, stay at home if you need to, then don't manipulate anyone. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated. And if you feel like you are the one who's manipulating other people, find Christ. Please, please, please find Jesus.
See you in the next episode.
Bye.